Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This video is the continuation of the previous video in exponents and roots. Simplifying surds. Some surds can be simplified into the form a root b, where square root of ab can be written as square root of a times the square root of b. Example, square root of 54. Square root of 54 can just be written as square root of 9 times 6, as 9 times 6 is equal to 54. Now, square root of ab, where ab is 9 times 6, can be written as square root of a times the square root of b. For example, square root of 9 times the square root of 6. Square root of 9 is just 3. Square root of 6 cannot be simplified any further. So 3 times the square root of 6. 3 times the square root of 6 is just 3 root 6. Next question. Square root of 125. Root 125 can be written as root 25 times 5, which is root 25 times root 5. Root 25 is simply 5, and root 5 cannot be simplified any further. So 5 times root 5 can be written as 5 root 5. As we see, we simplified these two equations in the form a root b, where 3 is a and b is 6. In this question, 5 is a and b is 5. Here are some questions for you to try out. Pause the video and try them out. Okay, question 1. Square root of 32 can just be written as square root of 16 times 2, as 16 times 2 is 32. Square root of 16 times the square root of 2, because we said that square root of ab can be written as square root of a times the square root of b. So a is 16 and b is 2. Square root of 16 is just 4. And square root of 2 cannot be simplified any further. It is an irrational number. Square root of 2 times 4 is just 4 root 2. Next question. 2 times root 63. Now this question may seem different, but this just means 2 times root 63. Now let's simplify root 63. Root 63 can be written as root 9 times 7, as 9 times 7 is equal to 63. Root 9 times root 7. Root 9 is just 3 times root 7. So 3 root 7. But that's not the final answer, because remember we said 2 times root 63. We found root 63. Root 63 is 3 root 7. So 2 times 3 root 7. 2 times 3 root 7 is just 6 root 7. Next question. Now we see a bracket, there's addition in there, and it has a square. So this is expanding the bracket. If you don't know how to do this, I'll link the video in the description or on the top right hand corner. So we're going to do this my way. Square root of 90 plus 4, square root of 90 plus 4. So we're going to make a grid and multiply all of the terms out. Square root of 90 times square root of 90 is just 90. Square root of 4 times 90 is 4 root 90. 4 times root 90 is 4 root 90. And 4 times 4 is 16. So we got 90 plus 16 plus 4 root 90 plus 4 root 90. So 106 plus 8 root 90. So 106 is already simplified. Let's see if 8 root 6 can be simplified. 8 root 90 can be simplified any further. 8 root 90 is just 8 times root 90. Root 90 can be simplified further, as root 90 is root 9 times 10. So root 9 times root 10 can be written as 3 times root 10. as square root of 9 is 3, which is 3 root 10. So we found out that root 90 is 3 root 10. So 8 root 90 is 8 times 3 root 10. 8 times 3 root 10 is 24 root 10. I'm sorry this is getting a bit messy right now, but we'll just simplify it here. So we found that 8 root 90 is equal to 24 root 10. So our final answer is 106 plus 24 root 10. Rationalizing the denominator. It is easier to work with roots if they are in the numerator instead of the denominator. This is the numerator, the top, and the bottom is the denominator. You see in this example, the denominator has a root in it. It's better if the denominator doesn't have any root in it, as it makes calculations a lot easier. This is why we need to rationalize the denominator in some fractions which have square roots or any roots at the bottom in the denominator. To rationalize the denominator, all we have to do is multiply the top and the bottom of the fraction by the denominator. So square root of 6 over square root of 6. We just multiply this whole term by the denominator, top and bottom by the denominator. So square root of 6 over square root of 6. So now we just multiply this and this, 2 root 6, and this and this. Root 6 times root 6 is just 6. Now 2 root 6 over 6 is just root 6 over 3, as we can cut this out and make this a 3. Here are some more complicated examples. As seen in the previous question, all we have to do is multiply the top and the bottom by the denominator, except there's one major change. We need to flip the sign. You see here is a plus, we would change that to a minus. So 1 minus root 2 over 1 minus root 2. So let's multiply the top out first. So 5 times 1 is just 5, and 5 times minus root 2 is 5 root 2. So 5 minus 5 root 2. Now let's solve the bottom. So we have to expand the bracket basically. 1 plus root 2, 1 minus root 2. 1 plus 1, 1 times 1 is just 1. 1 times root 2 is just root 2. 1 times root 2 again, except it's minus root 2. So 1 times minus root 2 is minus root 2. And root 2 times minus root 2 is minus 2. So this can be simplified to 1. The root 2's get cancelled out as root 2 minus root 2 minus 2. 1 minus 2 is just minus 1. So the denominator is minus 1. So the final answer is minus 5 plus 5 root 2. Let's try it again in a different question. Here we have a root in the numerator, but remember that is completely fine. We just do not want any roots in the denominator. So we multiply the top and bottom by the denominator, except we flip the sign. So this is changed to a minus. So we multiplied by root 7 minus 1 over root 7 minus 1. So now we're going to have to make two grids because we have to expand two separate brackets. Root 7 minus 1. Let's do the top first. Root 6 minus 3. Root 7 times root 6 is just root 42 because 7 times 6 is 42. Minus 1 root 6 is minus root 6. Minus 3 root 7 is minus 3 root 7. And 1 times 3, well, minus 1 times minus 3 is just 3. So here we got root 42 minus root 6 minus 3 root 7 plus 3. Let's write it down. Root 42 minus root 6 minus 3 root 7 plus 3. all over the denominator, which we still have to multiply out. So let's try it again. Root 7 plus 1 and root 7 minus 1. Let's make the grid. Root 7 times root 7 is just 1. 1 times root 7 is root 7. 1 times minus root 7, well, minus 1 times root 7 is minus root 7. And 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. So 7 minus 1 is just 6. And root 7 minus root 7 is 0. So 6. Thank you all for watching. There will be one more exponents and roots video where we discuss simplifying surds and exam style questions. Please like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you want more content. Thank you.